and when there is a significant change. And when there is a significant change, they can still go back to the forming stage. So that's one key thing to note on the stages of team development. So we move on to the next slide. So in as much as it's expected that the team are supposed to go through the forming, the storming, the norming stage, at every instance within the team, is expected that the team members should stay motivated. Motivation uplifts the mind. Even when there are storms, there are still some things that might still keep the team going. It might be coming from the leader to the other team members. During this period, it's expected that keeping it. Sorry, there is a background noise. Sorry, there is a background noise.
Abimbola Tom is saying, Christian Uzuchukwu, please, can you mute your mic?
Abimbola Tobison is the one taking the presentation for group.
Sorry, I mean Christian Uzuchukwu, can you mute your mic, please? So Christian, thank you. Go ahead, please.
The host actually muted me. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we're hearing you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so basically, as we go through these stages of team development, it's expected that if we didn't get to keep the team motivated as a leader, we might have people dropping off. And as they said, the motivation uplifts the mind. So it's expected that we should keep the employees, the team members motivated even as they go through the stages of team development. So leaders must create conditions that enable team members perform their best. Motivation within workspace can be external and internal, and we'll basically go through the external motivations and the internal motivation. Can we go to the next slide? So mainly for external motivation, things that are expected to keep the team members motivated as a team, it's first the good working environment, such as the office space where they are working. When team members have a good working environment, they have the tendency of staying motivated even when they are going through the stages of team development. And that's why keeping the team motivated is one key factor that we have to do. And the second, which is listed under the external motivation, is remuneration. When people are well paid, they basically sometimes get to do and work directly proportional to what they are heading. So giving good remuneration and considering salary increase when need be, and probably based to appreciate and show appreciation when the team is performing is one key thing that also keep the team motivated as part of the external motivation. And also safety. When staff and members of the team, they know they are safe, probably it might be safety in the general security, or probably being safe that they know that, okay, probably their job is secured. You know, that basically gives them going and makes them to stay motivated. You can imagine having to go through the storming stage as a team, and the staff or the member of that particular team is still not, his or her mind is still not at rest around the safety on the job. You can just imagine what such individual will be going through. So in as much as they are going through the developmental stages of the team development, we should still keep them safe. So staff safety should be considered and should be put on priority. These are things that we have under the external motivation that we can put on our team to get the team going while going through the stages of the team development. The next slide. We will basically be looking at the set of the internal motivation that we have while we wait for the next slide to come up. So for internal motivation, we have a couple of things that could be done internally, aside from the external motivation, aside from the... Yeah, I can hear you clearly. I will round that up within 3 minutes. So within, outside the external motivations, we have a set of other things that we have for internal motivation, and such include incentives, recognition, giving listening here, appreciating team members morale boosting activities, career development, and career advancement. And I will quickly take through this. Incentives can be financial or non-financial. Once the team members know that once they reach a certain milestone, there is an incentive for that particular thing. It's more of like a carrot approach. You know that, okay, the moment you move forward, you will be able to get this. So it keeps the team motivated and will basically make them to reach out for more at every point in time. And the second I will look through is recognition. Recognizing input and hardworking staff, it's a very good one that they know that, okay, fine, if might not translate directly into salary increase or remuneration consideration, but the moment they know that, okay, yes, they will be recognized for good work and for their tangible inputs to team development, basically team members will stay motivated. Then the third on the list is listening to staff when they make suggestions, allowing them to feel among and to be part and parcel of the team also keeps them going. When you know that, okay, yes, everything that you say, there's someone that's going to listen to you and will also make your own opinion count. And that's one thing that keeps people motivated. Just the same way that, okay, everyone is saying that, yes, we want our vote count. It's more of an indirect way of saying that, yes, the government should listen to us. And that is one thing we should have within the workspace too. Let's listen, and I'll be listening here to the team members. Then appreciation, commending every effort. When someone has done something very great, we should be able to say, yeah, yes, this is a good one. In the era of virtual meetings, there are some situations where a team would have performed well and they would just say, or mute your mic and just give a round of applause. As simple as that is, it goes a long way appreciating your team. Morale boosted. During when they have to do occasions, probably celebrating birthdays or celebrating milestones. When the team come together and celebrate, it boosts morale. Also, the career development. When people are on the team and they know that, yes, there's opportunity for them to grow, it keeps them going and it keeps them to stay motivated. Also, career advancement. When there is opportunity for promotion within the system and they are considered for that, it's one key thing too that also contributes to staff motivation, which is also categorized under internal motivation. I think this would be, so we've looked through the stages of we can go to the next slide. So we've gone through the 5 stages of team development, how we are supposed to keep our team going, what's expected as a team, right from the forming stage, the storming, the norming, the performing and transforming stage. So we've gone through that and how we can keep our team motivated. And these are key things that we should pay attention to while we go through team management and how we become a better leader. Thank you so much. And over.
Thank you so much, Team One. That was a very wonderful presentation. I know we have questions, but let's keep it. Let's have Team Two, please. Team Two. Are you there, Team Two?
Let's go ahead.
Okay, Team Two, you just have 10 minutes, please. Don't exceed, please. Thank you so much.
All
right, go ahead, please.
To project. Thanks so much.
Can we all see the screen?
Can we have some co-hosts to mute individuals that sound?
Daniel Ofem, please mute your mic. You're not the presenter, please. Thank you.
All right, can I go ahead, please?
Yes, go ahead, please.
All right, so I will try to be as brief as possible.
Please mute your mic, is this user?
Look, Jennifer, you can mute them because.
Let me just
Jennifer, please mute
Go
them.
ahead. Let me
or
just
you make others co-host so they can help you mute them.
We are co-host, so you can mute them.
All right, thank you. So for the team, we have 2 presenters here. I will blessing at some point to come and present our members who put up this together. As part of our outline, just to state that our outline speaks directly to our question or task given to our team. So we have 2 questions to respond here, and that is what we are going to do. The first one is asking us how you can become an effective supervisor. Basically, we try to ask ourselves, who is a supervisor? We try to ask ourselves who is a supervisor, and one of the key things there is that we all know that for you to be a supervisor, you're overseeing people who are having the same role and also as part of your team members. So it's very, very key. And as a supervisor who is expected that he or she should be able to delegate tasks to team members directly, and help them in setting out their targets, and possibly provide feedback, very, very important, so that the team will continue to do better at every given time. That is what, so there are different levels where supervisor can do all those things. However, we quality understand that for you to work very well as a supervisor and more possibly a good supervisor, it's expected that you are very flexible, ability to respect, your team opinions, and be very, very open and transparent, and making them so that they will have the trust and be able to believe in you.
Once I you hear me.
Also, for you to also supervise very well, it would be nice to appear to have knowledge, to be knowledgeable experience, especially in the areas on your own technical areas, so that your team will be able to also do well and be able to have a better understanding of what they are doing, technically. And have to be supportive where they're not doing well. As a supervisor, you should be able to guide them to do well and not necessarily have to criticize all the things they do in a negative way, what we call a constructive criticism. So that is one thing about supervisor that we need to find a way to do. So for you to become an effective supervisor, you get to know your employees. When we say employees, could be your team members, ask them what their goals are, help them set up their goals, and possibly give them responsibility as much as they could handle. That way, they will be able to come out well in some of those tasks to assign them. Also, as a supervisor, for you to be very effective, respect your colleagues, your team members, the people around you. Don't see them as if they are nobody or they are children, or try as much as possible to accord them the necessary respect, even though by possible there are areas where they have not done well. We expect that you should guide them to do better. And also believe, one of the things we mentioned is I believe a leader, meaning that you need to showcase level of confidence in what you are doing. So you need to believe in yourself, and that way your team members should be able to, be motivated to see, yes, our supervisor actually technically, or whichever way they want to see it, is very good, it's very efficient, and that will encourage the subordinates or the team to continue to, to motivate them to do better. It's also important to listen. Sometimes as a supervisor, allow your team, to speak. Allow them, give them free opportunity to air their views. While they are providing feedback, possibly if you have opportunity of one-on-one, carefully listen to them, pay full attention and hear what they are going to say, and see how you could utilize whatever feedback they give you, and see how they can do better in their daily tasks. So feedback is very, very important. The employer should be able to collect feedback. Feedback can be in two ways: feedback for yourself as a supervisor, and also give feedback to your team members. If you don't know, we will call those from a survey too, where your team anonymously can provide feedback on about you, so that way you can be able to do better as a leader and also as a supervisor. So our second task, Blessing, if you're online, I will call upon you to quickly summarize the second point, which talks about how can you provide effective feedback to your subordinates. So we're looking at about building team trust. So that is the scenario we want to present here. Blessing, kindly confirm if you're...
I'm here. Thank you very much.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, how can you provide effective feedback to your subordinates? One thing you need to put in mind, first of all, that feedback, it improve performance of your employees, and it also providing effective feedback on a regular basis, open up communication pathway so that your employees can respond in kind. One of those ways you can provide effective feedback, one of it is build a culture of choice within your team, in the sense that they need to respect you as a leader, not only a leader, a supervisor or a manager in charge, and trust your intention in the team. Okay. Whenever you make a mistake or the group make a mistake, they need to acknowledge it, that yes, we all have made this mistake, not for just one person, but for all of us. That is building up the trust within the team. The second one says solicit managers feedback from your employees. Now, this talks about actually getting feedback from your leaders. It also build up this trust we're talking about. It build up this trust from our team. When there's trust in our team, it improves the work flow. It improves the workflow, and it bring out productivity. Then the third one says it gives constructive feedback. Give constructive feedback frequently to ensure it effectively. So when you give a feedback frequently to your employees, it gives them the confidence to know that yes, they are in the right track, they are doing the thing rightly, or if they are not doing it rightly, they need to adjust to meet up with the targets or the goals of the organization. But the fourth one says avoid using feedback to micromanage your employees. Now, this one, the first one says, giving feedback frequently, but at the same time, this fourth one is trying to say that not all the time you give feedback. Sometimes when you give some certain feedback, it limits the ability of the employees. The employees will tend to feedback, not to feel free to do what they ought to do. That's why we ought to be cautious on the manner at which we respond to feedback to our employees. Then the next one says, don't be afraid to provide negative feedback to your team. Whenever the team bring up some certain things that is not productivity to the organization, don't be so emotional. Don't be so attached to it. You tend to tell them the area at which they are not doing well, in order for them to put up a new leaf to meet up with the objective of the team. With that, you can provide an effective feedback to the team. Now, another thing you need to put in mind is that show your employee respect when you provide feedback. Yes, thank you very much. Providing a feedback, it has to do with respect, irrespective of your age, to your subordinates, or the level at which you are. The manner at which you speak, you communicate to your team or your subordinates matters a lot. Either it boosts them or it kills them from putting more effort in whatever they are doing. So we need to be cautious on that. Then the next one says, focus on behavior when giving feedback to your employee, not personality. Yes, some person normally personalize some certain things when addressing some issues to their employees. When you want your team to grow faster, to grow to the greater height you want your team to grow, you don't need to address them personally. You need to address them as a team and their obligation they are meant to do.
Please, can you start rounding up, please? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Listen to understand, avoid providing feedback. Provide your employees with growth and development resources, identify the next step, and decide how to move forward. Yes, this is very, very important. We need to identify the next step and decide how to move forward. Thank you. Then the summary of a leader. A leader, one of the objectives they need to do, what are their obligations? They monitor. They are the figurehead of the team. Okay, they are the spokesperson. They speak in respect for the whole team. They get some activities to other members. The resources allocators, they locate resources as well. This disseminants, handlers, they are the entrepreneur. So these are the leader, the summary of a leader. Thank you.
Team 2, thank you so much for that wonderful presentation. Especially the first and the second presenter. You guys did very wonderful, and I really, really, really want to appreciate you. Thank you so much. I've actually learned a lot, and I believe most of us here have also learned a lot. So at this moment, I want to throw the ground open for everyone. Do you have contributions? Do you have questions or concerns concerning the first and the second presentation? Please, you're free to unmute your mic and ask your questions or concerns or recommendations, please. Okay, Williams, please go ahead.
All right, good evening, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right, so I want to sincerely appreciate the first presenter for Group 1, powerful, wonderful presentation. And I also want to appreciate the second presenter, the Group 2 presenters, the first and the second person. So my question is centered around what the first team success presented on. So I want to understand because this happened at the office. So it's actually a live example, a real life example. So in a situation where probably in an office setting, you had 3 teams, let's say team A, team B, team C, managing, let's say, for example, certain number of hospitals or facilities, and then maybe there was some sort of reshuffling in down the line, and then the team was collapsed, instead of maybe due to some people being transferred out of the state, some people resigning and seeking greener pastures elsewhere and all of that, and then the team had to be collapsed to maybe team A and team B. It's no longer team A, B, and C, and then the facilities redistributed accordingly. So what would you say, these teams now, are they still going to go back to the forming stage again, or they will just take it up from the storming stage? So that is one question. So the second one is more like a contribution to the second presenter, that talked about what makes you a good supervisor. I was thinking the presentation would be centered around the heart of supervision, which is listening, setting goals, and accountability. Thank you, and over.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay. Onyeka Chukwu Blessing, can we also hear from you, please? Hello, Onyeka Chukwu Blessing, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a question concerning the first presentation.
Please, I hope you are all here to respond to the first question and the second question. Thank you.
Please, I want to understand the process at which team members from the norming stage down to the from the forming stage down to the norming stage, because some situations happened, and even right there in the beginning of the team to the end, is as if I don't understand. It's just as if they are still in the storming stage. So I want you to just like put more light on these stages. Thank you.
Okay, Team One, can we respond to any of the comments?
Yeah, so I will allow any member of my team to go first. The team lead.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. I want to respond to the first question, that what if there are three teams handling a certain task, and at some point the teams sort of was dissolved, and instead of having three, they are now four. Sorry, they are now two. I guess that's what the person who asked the question have in mind. So you want to understand the stage at which this team is at that point. Yeah, from the stages of what we learned of the stages of team development, the team moved from the transforming stage, which is the stage they have fully developed. And at that point, they now move back to the first stage, which is the forming stage. Something great has happened in the team. You will see that some persons will be merged to the other group. It seems as if they are starting up something new. The assignments change somehow. So they have moved to the forming stage. And that's when the presenter was making his presentation, he practically emphasized that this forming stage can happen at the beginning of team development, and it can also happen when a team has gotten to the transforming stage. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Peace, for that response. Silifat, please, what do you have to say? Because we want to move to the next activity, please.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Am I audible?
Go ahead, go ahead.
All right.
Please, just be quick, please.
Yes, thank you. From the chat, I can see somebody is asking for the 5-stage development of the team
Yeah.
that we just mentioned. So that's what has just been announced. Now we have 1, forming, storming, norming, performing, and transforming. Yes, I just want to add to what we have said earlier, that as a team player and as a team leader, a supervisor, it is very germane to understand individual in that team, your team member, what motivates them, because it differs. Some are mourning, some need encouragement, some need acknowledgement. Just for you to know your team member is very, very important, because at times we might just assume an assumption is not too good when we are talking about team playing. For us to build a team, for us to have a trust in one another, you must know what motivates each of your team players. Thank you. God bless you.
We have so many hands here. Please, I know that we have so many comments. Thomason, Ogochukwu, Abimola. Please, Roy, are you there, Roy?
Yes,
Hello,
I'm here.
Roy, are you there? Okay,
Yes.
do you have a, can you give us that small talk on the ILP?
Okay.
Before I get back to these questions, because please, let's hold on. Let's, I know some of us have some questions concerning ILP. Please pay attention. Someone chatted me today and was telling me that she has submitted, but it has not been uploaded. And I know that it's just a one click of mistake. So please, let's all pay attention here. This ILP is going to take place from your module 1 to the end, in module 11. So I know some of us have done the right thing. Let's all pay attention. Thank you so much. All right, Roy, please go ahead.
Okay, hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Mr. Roy. I'm one of the Havron facilitators and the coordinator also. We want to quickly look at the individual learning plan known as the ILP for part 1. So this ILP, part 1, consists of module 1 to 3. So we are going to look at the objective of this meeting for this ILP. So this is to enhance participants' understanding of the assignment requirements. Because not might really understand the requirement for this particular ILP. Then also to make participants understand how to submit the assignments. Then we are going to look at the overview of the ILP. Then we now preview the modules for part 1, which comprises of module 1, module 2, and module 3. Now, for this ILP, once you are able to download it from the assignment page, when you click on your dashboard, you go to the assignment, you'll be able to download this. So, first thing you need to do is you input your name and the date for submission, because this is editable with a document. You can edit, then put your name and the date. Then for the preview of this ILP, individual learning is a comprehensive tool or a journal for reflection about your leadership and management skills and style. Throughout the leadership and management enhanced course, you will record insights from course activities and self-assessments in this document. So here, you are going to course side, from the course activity you are going through now, and also for self-assessment. So after assessing yourself while taking this course, you are going to document them. Then find that ILUP is a permanent record of further completion of the ILUP is a course requirement. Please, let's pay attention to this. Completion of this ILUP is a course requirement. You will try 3 times during this course. So you are going to look at the syllabus for this date for the submissions. So this ILUP, you are going to submit it 3 times. The first one is part 1, which comprises from module 1 to module 3. After that, you will submit it. Then you keep the document you have submitted, save it somewhere, so that by 4th week, you start from where you stopped. You have to add for module 4, module 5, module 6, module 7. I think after module 7, you are going to submit the second part. Then after that also, you are going to take module 8, module 9, 10. You fill in them, then submit it as your final ILUP. Not after submitting from module 1 to module 3, then you cut it off and now have a fresh one that starts from module 4, module 5, module 6. No, you are going to have all of them joined, but the first one comprises module 1 to module 3. Then you start the second 4 to module 7, and so forth and so on. So now, for module 1, which the topic treats the leading and the managing framework. So here you are applying your leadership practice assessment. So here there are questions attached to this particular module. So for you to identify your greatest strength among the leadership skills and the strengths, so you to identify your own strengths. Just like me, I would say that my greatest strength among all is strong organizational skills. Then you have on there, say, are you using or management strength as much as you would like in your current position or situation? So you check yourself and know if yes or no that you are using them to a reasonable extent, or primarily you are using it. Then after taking this assessment, what leadership practices might you want to develop further? So when you assess yourself, you might find out that there are some leadership practices that you have been lagging behind that you would like to develop further. That is what they're asking here. So you name it. So for me, I would say I see the need for me to improve on my scanning and focusing skills. So then for me to achieve my organizational goals, there is to strengthen these skills to match national strategies and targets. That is for me. So you know your own, you know the practices you might like to develop. So you put it here and let Investor Washington know. So then you go to the emotional bank account activity, which says in what areas of or with which people do you most need to increase deposits or decrease withdrawals. Be specific about how and when you will do this. You do not need to refer to people by name, but just be specific about what you plan to do differently. Just put that down here and submit when you are done with all. So this is for module 2, the core values. So here, what are your top 3 values and why? So here you can choose your top 3 values and let the Investor Washington know why you have chosen them. So for me, I can say that my top 3 values is peace, integrity, justice, and equity. So then here, this place is, sorry. Okay, here, your vision statement. A vision statement is an image of an ideal future you would like to see. A vision is an image of hope and of something you truly wish to create. A mission is what you do every day to move towards that future. Consider your own core values and how they support a vision for the future that you may have. So you, in a one sentence, personal vision statement, just in a one sentence, give University of Washington your own personal vision statement. So like here, I just defined what a vision is and a mission. So that a vision is an image of hope and something you or truly wish to create. Then your mission is what and what are you doing every day in order to move towards that future which you have created as your vision. So in a sentence, just let it known to University of Washington that this is your vision statement. So then for still module 2, here you have the time management matrix. We have about 4 quadrants. So here they're asking in the time management matrix exercise, which quadrant do you spend most of your time? I know most of us we have read here. So some people might say quadrant 1, some people say quadrant 2, some quadrant 3, 4, so on. So now after that, you say, what if anything will you do different to manage your time better? So if you notice, maybe you fall in a particular quadrant which is not actually helping you. So then what are you going to do differently concerning that particular quadrant? Then here we have a module 3 that has listening assessment. So how well do you listen? How does your listening well or listening poorly relate to the emotional bank account? You let it known here. So if at the end of this meeting, there is something you still need to know, or maybe you are confused about these questions, you can ask in the general group on your subgroup so that people can attend to you. So here for the coach, he said list 2 to 3 personal changes you would make which could significantly increase your effectiveness at coaching. So whether that be for his mentees or friends, for each want to see specific actions you could take that will help you make these changes. So here, for feel seek consequences. So consider a situation at work that you want to address or one which you wish you had dealt with more effectively. So look what we have here. Say, what do I want for myself? So what do you want for yourself? You write it down here. What do I want for others? What I wish for others? What do you want others to do? What do you want to do for them? You let it known here. What do I want for the relationship? How would I, if I really wanted those results? So I mean, how will you behave if you really wanted those results? So this is what is required of you for module 3. So now, after filling in these informations, you need to submit it to the portal, not to have run on WhatsApp group. So then the submission, how to go about it, you need to into your dashboard, your canvas, assignments. Look at ILUP part 1. Then you will see submit assignments down there. Click on that submit assignment. When you click on it, it will open to thing for you for test or upload documents. So if you have for you have saved it as a document. So you need to select file or select document depending on what is depending on the screen. So when you click on it, it's going to open the folder of your laptop or your phone. So you then have to select this particular file, this ILUP, which you have saved, maybe with your name, maybe Adekunle ILUP part 1, something like that. So you select it, then you click on submit. When you submit, you will see in front of your screen, they're showing that it has been submitted at the top corner of your screen. So then you will now be waiting for the feedback. The feedback we are going to see has to come as the grade. And grades are always posted on Mondays. Just like this ILUP to be submitted tomorrow, then When you submit it, let's say if you submitted Monday this week, because it's open, you can submit any time of the week, but the last day has to be tomorrow by 11:59 p.m. So if you submitted by Monday this week, don't expect it to be graded. Wait the Monday after the due date. So grading for this ILP will be done next 2 days, that is on Monday. So here comes the end of the ILP reviews. Over.
All right. Okay, do we have questions on the ILP?
Yes, I do.
Please go ahead. We are almost past time.
Yes, yeah. So I've submitted is hi Roy. I've submitted is saying submitted on the day, the time, but the cycle is not complete and is below is telling me try again. I don't know. Does that mean I've not submitted?
Okay, now that circle that you see that is not loading well,
Yeah.
that blue circle, actually, if your network is very strong, it's going to load that which you have submitted. That is what is going to show you there. But provided you have seen submitted up there, you have submitted it. That retry or resubmit is if you maybe made a change to what you have already submitted. You made a change, you want to upload the new one. You click on that. So when you click on that, you have to open a new file. Then you submit the correct.
Click on try again.
You said?
Is it click on the try again that I'm seeing if I want to resubmit?
Okay, can I have a screenshot maybe after? So send me on WhatsApp. Let me just screenshot your screen. Let me just get you. Let me look at your screen. If it is submitted, I will know. If it is not, I will let you know.
Okay. Thank you, Roy.
All right.
Bye.
So I will be dropping my contact. I don't know if you have, but I'll be dropping it on the chat box now. In case you know similar issue.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So over.
Thomason.
All right,
Please,
my
you
hand.
have just 30 seconds only. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So I was going to speak to the second question that was asked for the presentation, where someone asked what happened when you have stages that the team doesn't seem to be moving through the developmental stages that's expected, that it looks like they are stagnant on the storming stage. And that was why I was going to say that's where the second presentation comes in with effective supervision. So with effective supervision, the leader should be able to identify what that particular team is lacking. And sometimes within the workspace, they will recommend that probably members of team should take some courses. It might just be taking courses to even understand the temperament that might be the solution for that particular team. And probably by the time they take the course, they get to understand that, probably it's because of this person's temperament, and that's why. But they will basically have a supervisor that will monitor them closely to be able to identify what the problem or that particular team is, while they refuse to move from the storming stage to the performing stage. And with that recommendation, a close supervisor that monitors the team very well should be able to identify that gap and suggest solutions for it. Thank you so much, Anova.
All right, thank you so much, Thomason. Silifat, I want you to know that we have come to the end of this meeting, but let me just allow you to air your view, please. Go ahead, Silifat. Okay.
No, it was the former hand.
All right. Okay, Christian.
Okay, please, Jennifer, before you end the meeting, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, someone asked a question from the chat box. So I said, I don't understand what to do in that module 3.1. How do you listen? So please, this is just simple. Like, just how do you listen? Let's say maybe before you listen less to issues. So, but from the knowledge you have gained here, that you are now an active listener. So you can think that, but if you have been an active listener, you can say, I'm an active listener. I pay attention to details. So that is just what you need to input that place. So thank
Yes,
you.
thank you so much. Some you can also say that you listen to body language, unspoken words, signs. These are ways that you can listen to read and get the actual meaning. I hope we have all by now filled our attendance. This is very, very important. We here at Havron, we consider 75% attendance. And in a situation whereby you don't get to that, your certificate may be seized, even though you are qualified for certificate. So please fill all the attendance form. Please, this is very, very vital and crucial. Thank you so much. Christian, do you have something else to say, please?
Please, good evening, everyone. Please, I'm still a little bit confused concerning the see, feel, seek, and consequences. What to do there? I didn't get it very well. Can you help me, please?
Yeah, please.
I didn't get you. Said what?
I said in module 3, the ILP, I not get it well in that part. See, feel, seek, and consequence. What to actually do there? What do I want? What do I want for the others?
Okay.
That's what to do
Okay.
there.
Okay. For me, let's say for that question, what I say, what do I want for myself? So I want to positively and effectively address problems arising in a way it will be appreciated and foster harmony among all. So what do you want, maybe in your organization, what do you want that you need to do for yourself in order to have a harmony within the team? So you can just put something like that. So maybe, or even in your family, you can see in your family, you want to do this. There will be harmony in your family, or there will be this and that in your family. So then what do you want for others? So what are you expecting from others? So for me, I would say I want everyone to understand that mistake is inevitable and all should be ready to address issues effectively when problem arises to encourage the teamwork among the members of the organization. So things like this is what is required from you. So it's the other one that says, what do I want for relationship? I want everyone to be diligent in our dealings to avoid stress in the relationship, but proper protocols must be observed. I don't know if you are getting it. So now, the number 4 says, how would I behave if I really wanted those results? So if you really want this result to come, so what you want others to do, there is something you need to do. You have to, there is to behave. So I will say, maybe I'll say, I always listen and be sure of the said before concluding. So these are just what's required.
Okay, thank you so much, Roy, for that presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Oluchukwu, please, you're the last, please. Oluchukwu, are you there? Okay. Thank you all for making our time to come and avail yourself for tonight's meeting. Madam Patience, are you there, my co-facilitator? Madam Patience, okay. Okay, I guess it might be the network. Thank you so much for making our time to be here. Like I said before, let us always try to attend to our quiz, our discussion, and our assignment on time, timely response. And also try to ask questions in your respective group, Dominion and Success. Feel free to drop your questions there. Feel free to ask questions there. We are all there to help each other grow. I've always seen every class as a team. We are one. Your success is my success. And I love everyone. So please try and drop your question there, okay? Don't keep it to yourself. That is why we are here to help each other. Please, at every point in time, let the group become lively and ask questions. Thank you once again for making our time to be here. Have a lovely night rest. Good night.
Okay. Please remember to feed the attendance. Someone is asking her to feed the attendance.
Thank you.
I shared on the chat box. Please just click on that blue link. That will take you to the attendance.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Please click on the blue link. Thank you so much. Let's fill our attendance,
facilitator, coordinator.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Yeah,
Thank you.
all.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye. Please, let's fill our attendance.
I try to follow the classes. I'm not fit because I don't go far. You know, plenty of things to read, plenty text, tax, this, that. I all go assignments. Now the
Sonia,
assignment
are you talking? Sonia, what were you saying? Are you talking to us? All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Have a lovely night rest.
And you too. Thank you.
You're welcome, dear. We love you all.
Good night.
Sonia, okay, Sonia is out. I thought he has a question. Thank you all. Good night, everyone.
Good night. Jennifer, you have done well. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now you they train me now.